Good morning to all the class 10 students. In this video, we are going to discuss about your chapter number 1, that is your chemical reactions and equations. So this is your chapter number 1, chemical reaction and equations. Chapter number 1, then let us begin. What do we mean by chemical reaction? Chemical reactions are those processes in which new substances are formed with the new properties. That is called as a chemical reaction. So chemical reaction basically is what in the chemical reaction formation of new substances takes place. As we can see, the example of chemical reaction is when magnesium reacts with oxygen, then what this symbol is for heating. So magnesium reacts with oxygen gives us magnesium oxide. So this is a chemical reaction. So what is happening here? The magnesium and oxygen, they are reacting together to form a new product which is called as a magnesium oxide. So we are clear what is chemical reaction. So during the chemical reactions, we have other substances which take part in the chemical reaction are called as a reactants. That means as you can see, the substances taking part in the chemical reaction are called as a reactant, and the substances which are formed after the reaction is called as a product. So during a chemical reaction, we have a reactants and a product is the formation is there. So the new substances formed as a result of chemical reaction, they are called as your products. So we are clear with the reactants and products and also with what is chemical reaction. Now what are the characteristics of a chemical reaction? How we will identify that a chemical reaction has taken place? So the identification of chemical reaction is that during the chemical reaction, evolution of gases is there, formation of precipitate. Precipitate means what? There will be a formation of solid residue, then change in color will be there, the state of the color of the substance will also change, and even there will be a change in the temperature and change in the state also happens. So here is what, as you can see, magnesium and oxygen is reacting, then it is forming magnesium oxide. So magnesium oxide will be what? It will be in the form of your solid state. So like that, there will be even in the gas from the gaseous state, it has changed to the solid state. So that kind of change is also visible during a chemical reaction. As we can see, the fruit ripening, what happens when the fruit is not ripened? It is in green in color. After the fruit has been ripened, the color it becomes yellow or orange color. So what is there? There is a change in the color. So change in the color has happened due to the during a chemical reaction. So there is identification. So ripening of fruits is also a chemical reaction. Digestion of food is also a chemical reaction which happens in our stomach, that is inside the body also chemical reaction is happening. So all these kinds are of chemical reaction. Many more is there. Evolution of gases is also a form of a chemical reaction. Now when you dissolve a potassium dichromate solution is orange in color. After you dissolve sulfur dioxide in it, its color will become greenish in color. So by the change of the color, we are having that what case there is a change in the color state, and from there we are identifying that a chemical reaction has happened. Now we will be talking about chemical equation. What do we mean by chemical equation? So chemical equation is basically what? The method of representing a chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formula of the substance involved is known as a chemical equation. So chemical equation is basically what? It is a method of representing any chemical reaction in the form of symbols and formula. As you can see, the formula given when zinc reacts with sulfuric acid, it will form what? Zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas is evolved. So here the chemical reaction is occurring, there is an evolution of the gases is there. The evolution of gases is which gas? That is hydrogen gas is there. So we are clear during chemical reaction there will be color changes also there, evolution of gas is also there, solid residue will be formed and so on. So in different chemical reaction, different byproducts are formed, from there we can also identify it. So chemical reaction kya hai? That means what? The method of representing. That means the method of representing in the form of a chemical equation in the form of symbols and formula, that is called as a chemical equation. So we have written zinc plus zinc sulfuric acid gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gases evolved. So for writing a chemical equation, you have to know the symbols and the formula of each of the chemical element. That means zinc formula is Zn and sulfuric acid formula is H2SO4. So you have to know the formula of the element and the compound in order to write down the chemical reactions and its equations. So that is the important term you have to remember. Without remembering, you won't be able to learn. So try to learn all the elements from 1 to 30, and then you will be able to write down all the chemical equations generally which are related with your board exams. Now, how to balance the chemical reaction? You have to learn about balancing of the chemical equation. So balancing of the chemical equation can be written how? This is, as you can see in the blackboard, it is an unbalanced chemical equation. So unbalanced chemical equation is the reactants and products are not equal. In a balanced chemical equation, the reactants and products will be equal. So we can balance here hydrogen plus oxygen gives us water molecules. So hydrogen there is how many? 2. Oxygen is also 2. On the product side we have hydrogen 2 and oxygen is only 1. So it is an unbalanced. The reactant and product is not equal. So in order to make it equal, we have to add their 2. So simply add their 2. So what is happening here? There is a 2 molecules, 2 into 2, that means 4. 4 molecules of hydrogen is here and 2 molecules of oxygen is there. But on the left hand side we are seeing what? There is only 2 molecules of hydrogen and 2 molecules oxygen, and oxygen is balanced. That means oxygen 2 is also there, and here hydrogen is 2 and hydrogen that side is 4. So we have to again calculate here. So now this one is a balanced chemical equation. That means what? This method of which we have balance is a heat and trial method. It is called as a heat and trial method. So 4 molecules of hydrogen plus 2 molecules of oxygen gives us 2 molecules of water. So this is a balanced chemical equation. In this way we can balance the chemical equation. Next one is what? Magnesium reacting with the oxygen gives us magnesium oxide. Here we are seeing magnesium is 1. Here oxygen is 2 and magnesium oxide is 1 bond is 1 bond. So here what? Magnesium is balanced but oxygen is not balanced. So in order to balance this, oxygen is 2 and here is 1. So add here 2. When we are adding 2 here, what is happening here? Magnesium becomes 2 and oxygen also becomes 2. Here oxygen is 2 but magnesium is 1. So add here 2. So what is happening? This is also a balanced chemical equation. So now it has been balanced. So in this way we can balance the any kind of chemical equations. We can balance it by the heat and trial method. Now you practice the balancing of the chemical reaction. You have to practice more. This one is a simple and convenient chemical equation which I have shown you in order that you will be able to understand it. But you try to practice more and more chemical equations and balancing it so that you will have a very clear concept about how to balance the chemical equation. Now we have to talk about what? We have to talk about what are the different types of reactions. So what are the different types of the reactions? What are the different types of reactions and how many types of reactions are there? So we have to discuss that one. That means what? Basically how many types of reaction is there? There is 5 types of chemical reaction. We will be seeing one by one now. So basically there are 5 types of chemical reaction. So the 5 types of chemical reaction are combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction and oxidation and reduction reaction. So 5 types of chemical reaction is there, and now we will talk about what is combination reaction. Combination reaction means what? Those reaction in which 2 or more substances combine to form a single substance are called as your combination reaction. So example you can see when your 2 things are combining and it is forming a new substance, that kind of reaction is called as your combination reaction. Example of that one we can give that. So combination reaction example will be what? When magnesium combines with oxygen, it will give us what? Magnesium oxide. So here we are seeing what? Magnesium and oxygen, there are the 2 different substances. They are combining to form a single new substance which is magnesium oxide. So it is clear that this kind of reaction is a combination reaction in which 2 different substances react to form a new substances. Example, formation of water is also a chemical reaction because here hydrogen and oxygen is combining to form your water molecule. So these are the examples of your combination reaction. Now next we will be talking about what? About the decomposition reaction. So decomposition reaction is just opposite of the combination reaction in which two substances will separate to each single substance, that kind of substance is called as a decomposition reaction. That means what? Those reactions in which a compound splits into two or more simpler substances are known as decomposition reaction. That means from a single substance there will be a separation of two products or three products or so on. That kind of reaction is called as your decomposition reaction. Example, the best example is when we heat calcium carbonate, that means limestone. After heating it will form calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. That means calcium carbonate formula is what? CaCO3. After heating symbol is this one. Delta is your heating symbol, and then it will form what? Calcium oxide plus what? Carbon dioxide will be formed. So we have here any kind of reaction is represented with a arrow symbol. So decomposition reaction, in decomposition reaction from a compound it has split into two new substances, that is calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is formed. So this kind of a reaction is a decomposition reaction. Now what? We have to talk about displacement reaction. In displacement reaction there is no splitting of the substance, there is just the rearrangements of the elements will be taking place within the chemical reaction, and that happens when one element is more reactive than the other element. So now I will give you an example, a base example through which you can understand what is displacement reaction. So first, you know the definition of displacement reaction. Those reactions in which one element takes place of another element in a compound are known as displacement reaction. So displacement reaction, in displacement reaction the one element will take the place of the another element. Suppose in your classroom there is a two best friend, one is the first ranker one and the other one is the second ranker one. Then what will happen? If the second ranker one takes the position of the first ranker one, then what is happening here? The friendship, it has not changed, but what is changing here is what? The rank position has changed. First rank, second rank has gone to the first rank, and the first rank has gone to the second rank. So this is what is happening here. There is a interchange of the position of the rank. So that kind of reaction is called as your displacement reaction. This kind of change is a displacement change, and when we are talking in the terms of chemical reaction, then this kind of reaction will be a displacement reaction in which more reactive element will displace the less reactive element. Example of that we can give us what? When copper sulfate reacts with zinc. So you know we have to remember each and every formula and the symbols of the compound. Copper sulfate formula is CuSO4 when it reacts with what? Zinc. So zinc is more reactive than copper. Then what will happen? The product form will be zinc sulfate plus copper. So zinc sulfate plus copper. The least reactive one is displaced on the back side. So what is happening here? Zinc has displaced the copper from the sulfate solution. So here what is zinc? The zinc being seems more reactive than copper, it has displaced the copper from its solution and it has taken the position with the sulfate solution. So this kind of a reaction is a displacement reaction. Now we have to talk about, so similarly displacement reaction is taking when the more reactive element displaces the less reactive element. In double displacement reaction it like that two happens. What happens is there will be two reactive elements and then it will be displacing each other. So those reactions in which two compounds react by the exchange of ions to form two new compounds are called as your double displacement reaction. Example, we can take silver nitrate plus sodium chloride. So here we have taken the sodium chloride and silver nitrate is there. Then what will be the formation? It will be from what? Silver nitrate is AgNO3 plus sodium chloride formula to everyone of you know. So what is the result here? We will be getting a silver chloride plus sodium nitride will be formed. So a product called as your silver chloride and then sodium nitride is formed in a double displacement reaction. Here we are displacing, even the silver is displaced with the chloride and nitride is displaced with the sodium. So salt, even silver and sodium has been displaced during the reaction of the displacement, during the chemical reaction. So both the elements here are displaced. So this kind of a reaction is a double displacement reaction. Now we have to talk about what? About the displacement reaction we have get over. Now we have to talk about oxidation and reduction reaction. So oxidation reaction is what? By the name itself we will be able to know. Oxidation means addition, those reaction in which addition of oxygen takes place is called as your oxidation reaction, and reduction means in which addition of hydrogen takes place. That kind of reaction is called as your reduction reaction. So but there is an important term related with your oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. One term is that is your oxidizing agent and reducing agent. This is the two important terms which we have to arises from the oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. So we'll begin with the what is oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. So I told you that oxidation reaction and reduction reaction is a very important term. In this topic itself there will be 2-3 terms which will be arising out of oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. So first you have to get clear concept about what is oxidation reaction and what is reduction reaction. So oxidation reaction means what? The addition of the oxygen to a substance is called as your oxidation reaction. That means simply addition of oxygen is called as your oxidation reaction, you can say, or you can also say in which the hydrogen has been removed. The removal of hydrogen from a substance is called as your oxidation reaction. That means there will be two terms you have to remember: addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. Both are your oxidation reaction. So whenever in a chemical reaction there is an addition of oxygen to a substance or there is a removal of hydrogen from a substance, that kind of reaction is called as your oxidation reaction. And in reduction reaction will be what? The addition of hydrogen will be there and removal of oxygen will be there. So this kind of a reaction is called as your reduction reaction. As you can see, we have written what is happening: copper oxide plus hydrogen. We have added copper oxide when react together gives us what? Copper plus water molecule is there. Then copper oxide has been reduced to copper, and then water has been oxidized to hydrogen has been oxidized to water. So copper has been removed from copper. What is happening here? From copper oxide, oxygen has been removed. So oxygen has been removed. When what kind of reaction is this? This is a reduction reaction. So reduction reaction is addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. So oxygen has been removed from the copper oxide. So this one is a reduction reaction. And here addition of oxygen has taken place with the hydrogen. So this is a oxidation reaction. So from here we get two terms: oxidizing agent and reducing agent. So what is oxidizing agent and what is reducing agent, that also you have to know. So the substance which gives off oxygen for oxidation is called as your oxidizing agent, and the substance which removes hydrogen is also known as your oxidizing agent. So reducing agent is what? The substance which gives off hydrogen for reduction is called as your reducing agent, or the substance which removes oxygen is known as your reducing agent. As we can see from the example itself, what is oxidizing agent and what is reducing agent. So what is happening here? Copper oxide has removed what? Oxygen has been removed from it. So copper oxide is a reducing agent. Not copper will not be a reducing agent. You have to remember that those from the substance in which oxygen has been removed, that substance will be an oxidizing agent. Examples of copper oxide is an reducing agent, and here oxidizing agent, and reducing agent is one in which the so the substance from which the oxygen has been removed, that substance will be your oxidizing agent, or you can say the substance from which addition of hydrogen will be there, that will be your reducing agent, oxidizing agent. And then reducing agent is what? Here oxygen has been added. From the hydrogen we can see hydrogen is here, and in hydrogen oxygen has been added. So this is what? This is an reducing agent. In reducing agent, what is happening here? The substance which gives off hydrogen or which removes oxygen from is known as your reducing agent. The substance which gives off hydrogen for reduction, and that means what? It is giving off hydrogen for the reduction process. So here it is given hydrogen is adding to the oxygen and hydrogen is added to oxygen for the reduction reaction. So hydrogen has been given to it. So this is known as your reducing agent. So hydrogen is a reducing agent. Or in the other way is also to remember what is oxidizing agent and reducing agent is that those substances undergoing reduction reaction, any kind of substance which undergoes reduction reaction, that would be your oxidizing agent, and those substances which go oxidation reaction, that would be your reducing agent. Just opposite of that. That means reduction is reducing, reduction is oxidizing and oxidation is reducing. So there will be a reverse. Reduction means oxidizing and oxidation means reducing agent. So this one you have to keep in mind. They both are opposite in nature. So they are both this is the term which is very important with your oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. One more topic is there, that is your redox reaction. What is redox reaction? Redox reaction means what? Redox reaction means the reaction in which both the oxidation as well as reduction process takes place. That kind of reaction is called as your redox reaction. That means during a chemical reaction, the reduction reaction as well as the oxidation reaction are occurring, and this reaction is called as your, the overall reaction will be called as your redox reaction. So the copper oxide plus hydrogen is given of what? Copper plus water. So here what we are observing, here is a process called as a reduction process also going on, as well as the oxidation process is also going on. So both the processes involved here. So this reaction is what? This is a redox reaction. So during in a redox reaction, you will be observing that there is an oxidation reaction as well as an reduction reaction is also happening there as well. So you are clear what is oxidation reaction, what is reduction reaction, reducing agent, oxidizing agent and redox reaction. So in redox reaction, oxidation reaction as well as reduction reaction both takes place simultaneously. Now we will be seeing what are the effects of oxidation reaction in our day-to-day life. Now we will be talking about effects of oxidation reaction in our everyday life. In everyday life, what are the effects of oxidation and reduction reaction in our day-to-day life? So basically there are two types of effects which occurs over the metals, and there will be in the occurrence of the food, which we have observed. There is the effect is seen on the corrosion of metals is there, and then rancidity of food is the one on which oxidation reaction has been taking place. So what do we mean by corrosion? Corrosion is the process in which metals are eaten up gradually by the action of air, moisture or chemicals on their surfaces. So that kind of reaction is called as your corrosion reaction. Or you can see slowly the metal used to lose its property due to the action of moisture present outside in our environment. We have observed that whenever you left any kind of metal, the most common example is your iron. When you have left iron, what will happen? You will be seeing over the iron metal a junk like brown or reddish type of junk used to appear over the iron metal. So that kind of rust is called as your corrosion of the metals. That means the formation of the rust over the metal surface is an example of your corrosion. So corrosion is what? The metal is losing its property and it is becoming it is losing its property. So it is it has lost its all property. So it is what? It has get deteriorated. So the example of rust is what? Two molecules of iron, that means iron oxide plus there will be water molecules will be there. So this is the formula of rust. That means ferric oxide dot HX H2O. Number of X is indicating the number of water molecules. That means how much moisture is present on the surface of the metal. So this is the formula of your rust. So corrosion of metal is seen over the metal surfaces, especially we have observed over the iron surfaces, that we again have a clear concept about what do we mean by corrosion of metals. During the corrosion of iron, what happens is iron metal is oxidized by the oxygen. That means iron is oxidized by the oxygen of the air in the presence of moisture to form hydrated iron. That means water is present over the metal surface. That means iron oxide is there is presence of the water or moisture over the iron metal. Then the rust of iron is known as a, so the rust of iron is happening here, it is a redox reaction is also happening there. Now the third one is for corrosion weaknesses. What does the corrosion do, or what is the effect of corrosion? Corrosion, it weakens the iron and steel objects and structures such as railings, car bodies, bridges and ships etc. and are cut short their lifespan. A lot of money has to be spent every year to prevent the corrosion of iron and steel objects and to replace the damage of the iron and steel objects. So this one can be prevented by the method which has been discussed in your chapter number 3. Further chapter has been discussed. So till here we have been talking about corrosions of metals only. Now the second effect is rancidity. Rancidity means what? Similarly, corrosion is what? Corrosion is happening over the metal surface. Then means the property of the metal is losing, that process is called as your corrosion. And when the property of the food has been lost, or you can say when the food has been spoiled, this process is called as your rancidity. So in terms of food component we call it rancidity, and in terms of metals we call it corrosion. So similarly, oxidation of the food in the presence of air and moisture, this process is called as your rancidity. And how can we prevent rancidity, we will be seeing. So the condition produced by the aerial oxidation, that means or the oxidation reaction of food has been taking place of fats as well as in the oils in food, marked by unpleasant smell and taste is called rancidity. That means when a food has been spoiled, it will be having unpleasant smell will be there, and then the taste will also be bitter from the normal taste of the food. This whole process is called as your rancidity. Then how can we prevent rancidity of the food? The rancidity of the food can be prevented by adding antioxidants to food containing fats, and also we can prevent the rancidity of food by adding antioxidants. Antioxidants are usually reducing agents. Since the food has been oxidized, so we can add the reducing agent in order to prevent rancidity of the food. So fats and oils present in them do not get oxidized easily and hence do not turn rancid. So we should add maximum amount of fats and oils to the food component so that the food will not cannot be spoiled very easily. Next is rancidity can also be prevented by packing fat and oil containing foods in nitrogen gas. So we can even pack the food materials containing the nitrogen gas, because nitrogen gas do not allow the moisture to have a contact with the food component. So in that way the food will not be oxidized and it will be prevented from rancidity. Rancidity can also be retarded by keeping food in a refrigerator. So we can store the food in the refrigerator, then rancidity of food will be retarded. That means it will be a slow growth of the food will be seen. Rancidity can be retarded by storing food in airtight containers also, and it can be retarded by storing foods away from the light also. So these are some of the steps by which rancidity of the food can be prevented. With this we have come to an end of our chapter number 1. You watch the video thoroughly and even go through your book so that you will be having a very clear concept about your chapter. As we have also taken the online classes, I hope you won't be having any kind of doubts. So watch the video and go through read the books also too. Thank you.